What city are you watching from today? If this story of ultimate sacrifice and courage moves you, subscribe for more stories about the warriors who fight in the shadows. Coronado Beach, California, the Pacific Ocean crashes against the shore as 24 Navy SEAL candidates struggle through Hell Week. Only 8 will make it to graduation. Among them is Petty Officer Marcus Rodriguez, a 26-year-old former Marine who's already served 2 combat tours in Afghanistan. Marcus grew up in East Los Angeles, where gang violence was a daily reality. His older brother Miguel was killed in a drive-by shooting when Marcus was 16. That tragedy drove Marcus to join the Marines, seeking purpose and the chance to fight for something greater than the streets. Now, after 4 years in the Marines and 2 years of intensive SEAL training, Marcus has earned his trident. He specializes in close-quarters combat and speaks fluent Arabic and Farsi, skills that will soon make him invaluable for a mission no one could have imagined. Naval Special Warfare Command, Dam Neck, Virginia. 2 years later, Commander Sarah Mitchell reviews classified intelligence reports in a secure briefing room. The photos spread across her desk show surveillance images of a man called Abu Hassan, real name unknown, background classified, but intelligence suggests he's planning something catastrophic. Marcus enters the briefing room, still wearing his desert fatigues from a training exercise. At 28, he's completed over 40 successful missions and earned a reputation as one of the most effective operators in his squadron. Rodriguez, what I'm about to tell you doesn't leave this room. We've intercepted communications indicating a terrorist cell is planning a major attack on American soil, multiple targets, potentially thousands of casualties. Marcus studies the surveillance photos. Sir, what's the timeline? Unknown. Could be months, could be weeks. The cell is led by this man, Abu Hassan. He's recruiting American-born Muslims with clean records, people who can move freely in the United States without suspicion. Where do I fit in? Commander Mitchell pulls out a thick dossier. Marcus, your background makes you uniquely qualified for this mission. East Los Angeles upbringing, fluent Arabic, combat experience, and most importantly, you look the part. We want you to go undercover. The mission parameters are unlike anything in SEAL training. Marcus will assume a completely new identity, Miguel Santos, a disillusioned former Marine seeking revenge against the American government that he believes abandoned him. The cover story is built around real grievances that many veterans face: PTSD, unemployment, feeling forgotten by the country they served. For 6 months, Marcus undergoes intensive preparation. He grows out his hair and beard, learns to speak Arabic with a specific regional dialect, studies Islamic theology and radical ideology. Most challenging is the psychological preparation, learning to think and act like someone who hates everything he's sworn to protect. The transformation is overseen by Dr. James Patterson, a military psychologist who specializes in deep cover operations. The process is mentally exhausting, requiring Marcus to suppress his natural instincts and adopt the mindset of his cover identity. Marcus, the most dangerous part of this mission isn't the physical risk. It's the psychological toll of becoming someone you're not. You'll be living a lie for months, maybe years. Some operators never fully recover their original identity. Doc, I understand the risk, but if this cell is planning what you think they're planning, I'm the best chance we have to stop them. The psychological preparation includes studying the profiles of real American jihadists, understanding their motivations and grievances. Marcus must become convincing enough to fool terrorists, who are experts at identifying infiltrators. Raqqa, Syria. 6 months later, Marcus, now fully transformed into Miguel Santos, crosses the Turkish border into Syria. His cover story is that he's a former Marine seeking to join ISIS after becoming radicalized in prison. The journey to this point has been carefully orchestrated by CIA operatives who've spent months building his legend. The first contact comes at a refugee camp where CIA assets have arranged for Marcus to meet a recruiter for Abu Hassan's organization. The recruiter, a British-born Pakistani named Tariq, is suspicious but intrigued by Marcus's military background. Brother Miguel, why do you want to join our cause? Tariq asks in Arabic, testing Marcus's language skills and sincerity. Marcus responds with the carefully rehearsed story of disillusionment and anger. The American government sent me to fight their wars, then threw me away when I came home damaged. They care more about foreign oil than their own soldiers. Tariq studies Marcus carefully. Many say such things, but few have the commitment to act. What makes you different? Marcus shows him scars from his real combat injuries, evidence of his genuine military service. I didn't just talk about fighting Americans. I know how they think, how they operate, how they can be defeated. The recruitment process takes weeks. Marcus lives in squalid conditions, undergoes ideological indoctrination, and proves his commitment through increasingly dangerous tasks. Every day requires perfect performance of his cover identity, while secretly gathering intelligence for his handler. The most challenging aspect is maintaining contact with his CIA support team without being detected. Communication happens through coded messages left in predetermined locations, a technique that requires precise timing and absolute discretion. During this period, Marcus witnesses atrocities that test his psychological limits. He watches executions, participates in weapons training, and listens to detailed plans for attacks on civilians. Maintaining his cover while witnessing such brutality pushes him to the edge of his mental endurance. Istanbul, Turkey, training compound. After 2 months in Syria, Marcus has gained enough trust to be brought to a sophisticated training facility outside Istanbul. Here, Abu Hassan's organization prepares operatives for missions worldwide. Marcus meets Abu Hassan for the first time during a gathering of senior operatives. Hassan is not what Marcus expected, a soft-spoken man in his 40s who speaks multiple languages and demonstrates deep knowledge of Western culture and military tactics. Brother Miguel, Tariq tells me you have special skills that could serve our cause. What specific capabilities do you bring? Marcus carefully reveals aspects of his real SEAL training while maintaining his cover story. I know American military procedures, base security protocols, and special operations tactics. I can teach others how to defeat American forces. Hassan's eyes show interest. We have been planning an operation that requires someone with your background. But first, you must prove your absolute commitment to our cause. The test comes in the form of a mission to kidnap a Turkish intelligence officer. Marcus realizes this is both a test of his loyalty and an opportunity to gather crucial intelligence about the cell's capabilities and plan. The kidnapping operation reveals the sophistication of Hassan's organization. They have access to advanced surveillance equipment, encrypted communications, and detailed intelligence on Turkish security service. Marcus participates in the operation while secretly documenting everything for his CIA handlers. During the mission, Marcus saves the life of another operative when Turkish special forces attempt a rescue operation. His quick thinking and genuine combat skills earn him deeper trust within the organization, but also force him to participate in violence against Allied forces. The psychological toll intensifies as Marcus realizes he's becoming genuinely skilled at being Miguel Santos. The line between his real identity and his cover begins to blur, exactly what Dr. Patterson warned him about. 6 months into the infiltration, Marcus learns the true scope of Abu Hassan's plan. The terrorist leader has been recruiting American veterans and training them to carry out coordinated attacks on military bases, government buildings, and civilian targets across the United States. The attack plan is sophisticated and terrifying. Multiple teams of American-born operatives will simultaneously strike targets in different cities, creating chaos and overwhelming the emergency response system. The psychological impact would be devastating, Americans killing Americans on behalf of foreign terror. Marcus's role in the plan is to provide tactical advice and help train other operatives in military procedures. His genuine expertise makes him invaluable to the operation, but also complicit in planning attacks against his own country. The most challenging moment comes when Hassan asks Marcus to record a propaganda video explaining his conversion to the jihadist cause. The video will be used to recruit other American veterans and will be released after the attacks to maximum psychological effect. Brother Miguel, your testimony will inspire others who feel abandoned by America. Tell them how you found purpose in our struggle. Recording the video requires Marcus to express hatred for everything he actually loves and believes in. The performance is so convincing that even he begins to question which emotions are real and which are performance. CIA safe house. Ankara. Emergency extraction. After 8 months undercover, Marcus receives an emergency signal from his CIA handler. Intelligence suggests that Turkish authorities are close to discovering the training compound, and Marcus needs to extract critical intelligence before the operation is compromised. The extraction plan requires Marcus to obtain detailed information about the American attack timeline and target list. This intelligence is stored on Hassan's personal computer, which is kept in a secure office within the comp. Marcus volunteers for night security duty, giving him access to Hassan's office. Using skills learned in SEAL training, he bypasses the security system and accesses the computer. What he finds exceeds his worst fears. The attack is scheduled for the 4th of July, just 6 weeks away. 12 teams of 3 operatives each will simultaneously attack targets in Washington, D.C., New York, Los Angeles, and 8 other major cities. The casualty estimates run into the thousands. Downloading the files requires 45 minutes, during which Marcus must maintain normal security patrols while hiding his activities. Discovery would mean not just his death, but the loss of intelligence that could prevent a catastrophic terrorist attack. The extraction itself is a masterpiece of CIA operational planning. Marcus stages his own kidnapping during a supposed shopping trip to Istanbul, allowing Turkish intelligence assets to rescue him and bring him to safety without compromising his cover. But the operation comes at a cost. During the staged kidnapping, Marcus is forced to kill one of Hassan's bodyguards, a young man he's known for months and who trusted him completely. The psychological weight of betraying and killing someone he'd lived alongside pushes Marcus closer to a complete breakdown. CIA debrief facility, Langley, Virginia. Marcus undergoes intensive debriefing and psychological evaluation after his extraction. The intelligence he gathered enables FBI and CIA to identify and track the terrorist operatives who have already entered the United States. Patterson conducts daily sessions to help Marcus readjust to his real identity. The process is complicated by the fact that Miguel Santos has become a real person in Marcus's mind, complete with memories, emotions and beliefs that conflict with his actual personality. Marcus, you've been living as someone else for 8 months. It's normal to feel confused about who you really are. The important thing is that you accomplished the mission and saved thousands of lives. But Marcus struggles with guilt over the people he killed and betrayed during the operation. Even though they were terrorists, he lived with them, earned their trust, and then destroyed them. The moral complexity haunts him. Duck, I know what we did was necessary, but I can't shake the feeling that I became the thing I was pretending to be. How do I live with that? The debriefing reveals the full scope of the terrorist plot and the intelligence Marcus gathered. His sacrifice prevented what would have been the deadliest terrorist attack in American history, but the victory comes at a personal cost that will take years to fully understand. Counterterrorism operation, nationwide raids. Based on Marcus's intelligence, federal agents simultaneously raid terrorist safe houses across 12 cities. The coordinated operation, codenamed Patriot's Dawn, results in the arrest of 37 terrorist operatives and the seizure of weapons, explosives, and detailed attack plans. Marcus watches the news coverage from a secure facility, seeing his months of sacrifice translated into concrete results. FBI Director Williams holds a press conference announcing the successful disruption of the terrorist plot. Today, federal agents prevented what could have been the most devastating terrorist attack since September 11th. Thanks to extraordinary intelligence work and the sacrifice of dedicated Americans serving in harm's way, 37 terrorists have been arrested, and their plot has been thwarted. The public will never know Marcus's name or the specific details of his contribution. The operation remains classified, and Marcus's identity as the undercover operative is protected. But he has the satisfaction of knowing that thousands of families will celebrate the 4th of July safely because of his sacrifice. However, the success is tempered by the realization that Abu Hassan himself escaped the raids. Intelligence suggests he's already planning new attacks and recruiting new operatives. The war against terror continues, and Marcus's mission may not be truly complete. Walter Reed Medical Center. Psychological treatment. Marcus undergoes months of intensive therapy to address the psychological trauma of his undercover operation. Dr. Sarah Chen,
a specialist in treating intelligence operatives, works with him to reconstruct his original identity. The challenge is unprecedented in modern psychology. Marcus has essentially lived as two different people, with Miguel Santos becoming as real and complete as Marcus Rodriguez. Integrating these conflicting identities while maintaining his mental health requires innovative therapeutic approaches. Marcus' identity is more fluid than most people realize. You've proven that a person can become someone else completely. Now we need to help you choose who you want to be going forward. The therapy reveals that Marcus has absorbed some of Miguel's characteristics: increased aggression, suspicion of authority, and emotional detachment. These traits helped him survive the mission, but now interfere with his relationships and mental health. 6 months of treatment helps Marcus understand that his experience, while traumatic, has given him unique insights into both American and terrorist psychology. These insights make him valuable for future counterterrorism work, but also carry ongoing psychological risk. Naval Special Warfare Command. New assignment. Marcus returns to active duty with a new role in counterterrorism intelligence. His experience makes him uniquely qualified to identify potential terrorist recruits and assess the psychological profiles of captured operatives. The work is less physically demanding than traditional SEAL operations, but more psychologically challenging. Marcus must regularly enter the mindset of terrorists and extremists, a process that requires constant vigilance to prevent psychological contamination. Commander Mitchell briefs him on his new responsibilities. Rodriguez, what you've been through has changed you, but it's also made you one of our most valuable assets. Your understanding of both sides of this conflict is unprecedented. Marcus accepts the assignment with the understanding that his sacrifice has ongoing value in protecting American lives, but he also recognizes that he'll never fully return to the person he was before the mission. 2 years later, training facility, Fort Bragg. Marcus now trains other special operations personnel in counterterrorism and infiltration techniques. His methods are informed by real experience that few instructors can match. During a class on deep cover operations, a young SEAL candidate asks about the psychological challenges of long-term infiltration missions. Sir, how do you maintain your real identity when you're pretending to be someone else for months? Marcus considers the question carefully before answering. You don't maintain your real identity. You accept that you're going to change, and you trust that the person you become will still be capable of completing the mission and serving your country. The training program Marcus develops becomes a model for special operations forces worldwide. His insights into the psychology of infiltration and the challenges of identity management help other operatives avoid some of the pitfalls he experienced. But Marcus's most important contribution is his work with a joint FBI-CIA task force that identifies and monitors potential domestic terrorists. His understanding of radicalization processes helps prevent future attacks before they reach the planning stage. Marcus's personal life remains complicated by his experiences. Relationships are difficult when you've spent months becoming someone else. Trust doesn't come easily when you've had to lie convincingly about everything you believe. He finds purpose in his continued service, but struggles with the knowledge that pieces of Miguel Santos remain part of his personality. The man who went undercover was fundamentally changed by the experience, and no amount of therapy can completely restore his original self. Present day, classified location. Marcus, now a lieutenant commander, leads a joint task force investigating a new terrorist threat. Intelligence suggests that Abu Hassan, who escaped the original raids, has developed a new network of American recruits. The mission parameters are similar to his original infiltration, but Marcus's role has evolved. Instead of going undercover himself, he now manages other operatives and provides psychological analysis of terrorist recruitment and planning. Sir, we've identified 12 potential operatives in 6 cities. The psychological profiles match the patterns you identified in your original assessment of Hassan's recruitment methods. Marcus studies the intelligence reports with the expertise gained through his personal sacrifice. His insights help identify which threats are genuine and which are merely aspirational, allowing limited resources to focus on the most dangerous plots. The work continues to exact a psychological toll, but Marcus has learned to manage the mental challenges better. Regular therapy, careful attention to his personal relationships, and acceptance of his changed identity help him maintain his effectiveness while protecting his mental health. In quiet moments, Marcus reflects on the cost of his service. He prevented thousands of deaths and helped develop new methods for fighting terrorism, but he also lost parts of himself that can never be recovered. The man who emerged from the infiltration mission is different from the one who began it. Marcus Rodriguez carries within him the memories and perspectives of Miguel Santos, a fusion of identities that makes him uniquely effective, but also perpetually divided. His story remains classified, known only to a small number of government officials and intelligence professionals. The public will likely never learn about his sacrifice or the attacks he prevented, but for Marcus, the knowledge that American families are safe because of his actions provides sufficient reward. As he reviews the latest intelligence on emerging terrorist threats, Marcus prepares for whatever missions lie ahead. The war against terror continues, fought largely in shadows by people whose names will never be known. Marcus Rodriguez, forever changed by his experience as Miguel Santos, remains ready to serve in whatever capacity his country requires. The price of freedom he's learned is sometimes paid not just in blood, but in identity itself. Some warriors sacrifice their lives for their country. Others sacrifice who they are, becoming someone else entirely in service of the mission. Marcus looks out the window of his office at the American flag flying over the base. The flag represents everything he fought to protect during his months as Miguel Santos. It also represents the complex reality of modern warfare, where the greatest battles are often fought not on traditional battlefields, but in the minds and hearts of those who choose to serve in the shadows. Thank you for watching Marcus's classified story. What city are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments, and if you believe stories of hidden sacrifice like this deserve to be heard, please subscribe. Your support helps us share these important stories about the warriors who fight unseen battles to keep us safe.